Well, everyone, can you believe it's been 10 years for Allies and Youth? I want you to put your hands together for yourself because it's because of you we've been here 10 years. So let's go. We want to thank everyone who's watching online. We actually have a banquet in North Richland Hills tonight that started at the same time we're starting. They got about 150 people, so they're learning all about Allies. And then we have 325 here tonight. 315 of them look real good, so you can find the 10 that don't. And we can point at them, all right? So we're just glad you came tonight to learn about Allies. I can't believe it's been 10 years. 10 years. I mean, 10 years ago, I had an afro like Bob Ross. I mean, that's how fast time goes. But just so glad you've joined us to celebrate 10 years of changing orphans' lives. A few things I want to mention before we jump into the program. Food. Let's give a big round of applause to Awesome Catering. Yes. And also thanks to Awesome Catering, because you're probably not going to be able to get into your shirt. You might need a different size tonight. So if you would like to have a different color or different material shirt or a different size, then you can take it right back to the back sometime tonight and they'll switch it out for you. If you are going to bid on the live auction, make sure you've grabbed one of these numbers from the back. Just make sure you have that so we can make sure we get your bid in on the live auction. And the last thing I want to say is you have this sheet right in front of you tonight. It's right there on your table. Just set it aside, and we'll come back to that later on. For 10 years, Allies has been engaging, educating, empowering orphans all around the world. And all throughout tonight, this evening, you're going to hear and learn just exactly how Allies engages, educates, and empowers these precious lives. If you're new tonight, think of the story of the Good Samaritan. You remember that story? A man's beaten, left in the street. The priest comes by, the Levite comes by, people you would think would stop and help, but they don't. And then the Samaritan comes by, somebody you would think would not stop and help. And he helps him, he bandages him, heals his wounds, and he takes him to the end and makes sure he's taken care of. Well, in the Allies world, the orphan's the one who's been neglected, sometimes beaten, left on the street. The parents you would think would take care of them, but they're gone for whatever reason. They're not there. Sometimes in their country, they try to help. Sometimes they don't, but they do very little. So Allies is the ones that come in, the ones you wouldn't think would help from a foreign country, and we pick this kid up. We try to give him self-esteem, knowledge, wisdom, help him grow in the Lord, and then we take him to the end. And we take them to the end, means we stay with them. So when they age out of the orphanage, hopefully Allies' programs, in many cases, are giving them knowledge and skills that they can go on and have a very productive life and stay out of the hands of human traffickers. So that's what Allies does. But in order to do that, we need your help. And I'm going to tell you tonight, we have gotten some help. From the generosity of several donors, we have a $150,000 match tonight. How about that? Huh? How about that, right? Now, I'm going to tell you, if we raise $150,000 tonight, which we've come very close to doing before, and we need your help to do it, it's an attainable goal. I'm no mathematician, but that's $300,000, right? What can we do with $300,000? Well, I'm glad you asked. Allies has a waiting list, and on that waiting list is 2,000 orphans. 2,000 orphans that have asked us to come into their lives so they can access our mentors, our camps, our programs, and so much more that Allies has to offer. I hope that what you see and hear tonight will motivate you to help us reaching this goal for these 2,000 orphans. No pressure, but Chris told me if we don't reach the goal tonight, he's going to lock the door and force us to watch 9 innings of Ranger baseball. Please help us reach our goal tonight. So to help you understand exactly what Allies does and how we do it, here is one of our own development team members, Miss Jennifer Sylvia, with Allies 101.
Welcome and thank you for joining us. I'm Jennifer Sylvia and this is Allies 101. You may have been wondering what Allies and Youth Development is all about. Hopefully this will help answer some of those questions for you. Allies provides loving care to orphans through a pathway to education, life skills, mentoring, friendships, and supplies. Did you know so many orphans have to share a toothbrush with up to 10 or 12 other children? We use terms here at Allies like engage, educate, and empower. We engage by training in-country volunteers to work directly with the children. We teach proper skills development to ensure their success and safety when it's time for them to lead independent lives. By restoring their motivation, self-worth, and dignity, we empower them to make better choices, which helps them form a foundation for success in their future. These aspects help them as they age out of the orphanage, not to fall victim to things like human trafficking, suicide, homelessness, addiction, and despair. Instead, Allies gives them hope, a future, and most importantly, an introduction to Jesus. Who are the Allies? We're area directors, hundreds of mentors and volunteers, donors, staff, and advocates. They're located all over the world in countries like Russia, the Ukraine, Vietnam, and more than a dozen others. Thank you so much for joining us. Whether you're giving already, whether you're supporting us through prayer, or whether you're here just to learn more, we just appreciate you so much and look forward to serving alongside you.
Well, happy 10 years, Allies and Youth Development. What a great journey it's been. The other day I was driving down the road and it just dawned on me, the whole job of mankind is to bring glory to God. Psalm 71:7 says, I become a marvel to many, for you are my stronghold. I have been marveled at what God has done. Nearly 6,000 kids in your program, over 17 countries, and people are still waiting in line to sign up for this. I am so amazed at what God has done. And Chris, your vision was birthed and how you've birthed it to others to make a difference in the world for the cause of Christ. I'll never forget you and I talking about this banquet 10 years ago, and you looked at me and said, Randy, would anybody come? Well, look around, Chris, they're here. So I just want to say this, you're bringing glory to our Lord Jesus Christ. And God bless you for the cause that you're going after, to making a difference in the lives of those that can't stand up for themselves. This is pure and undefiled religion. Take care of the widows and the orphans. Chris, you're doing it. Allies and Youth Development, you're doing it. And folks, let me just say this. I can't think of a better place to put your money and your resources and your affections and your attentions. God bless you for all the donations, for all the volunteers, for all the money, for all the trips. And I want you to know you are becoming a marvel to many because the Lord God is your stronghold.
Thank you to Randy. He's been a great support to Allies over the years, and y'all pray for him because it's very hard to live on Lake Granbury and fish every day. He's really toughing it out. Well, 10 years ago, God put it on this man's heart to help orphans in Russia. And like a true leader, this man is the first one in the office every day, and he's the last one to leave. To tell you what God has done and what God is going to do with Allies, I present to you the founder and CEO, Mr. Chris Bergen.
Thank you. Feel like George Bailey up here from A Wonderful Life. I want to thank each of you for being here tonight, wherever you may be, right here in Mansfield with us, at the event in North Richland Hills, or in one of the many worldwide home groups via the internet. Welcome to our 10th annual Allies Color Their World event. If you gave your first gift 10 years ago when Allies was founded, or you give your very first gift tonight, you're all part of this journey to empower orphans. None of this would be possible without you. And we're so humbled and grateful for what you do to make Allies possible. You are truly an ally for orphans. When Dr. Baiva and I founded this organization in 2011, we never imagined that in 10 years, Allies would be in 17 countries all around the world. Because of you, the lives of thousands of orphans have been changed dramatically. Serving over 5,500 orphans in more than 123 orphanages now, keeps going up. But it doesn't stop there with just the orphanages. By the end of 2020, this program had helped to support 198 children in single-parent homes, 673 children in adopting and foster families, and 1,109 children with disabilities. In this past decade, we have empowered hundreds of orphans to achieve what to them seemed like an impossibility, and that is to attend a college or a university, thus becoming self-sustaining, productive members of society. And I am so proud of these young people who have persevered, and with your help, they beat the odds. Lives served is the goal, right? To break the cycle of abandonment and to prevent that cycle from repeating. This literally saves the lives of orphans from human trafficking, from suicide, addictions, and despair. But this also provides the opportunity for a spiritual introduction to our Heavenly Father who cares deeply, so deeply, for these children. James, the brother of our Lord Jesus Christ, said, "Pure and undefiled religion in the sight of God, in the sight of our God and Father is this, to visit orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself unstained by the world." I think God thinks it's an important thing that we be about this work. This past 10 years has been amazing. We have seen God move mountains, big mountains and small mountains, in the lives of orphans. Take a look at what the Lord has done. Congratulations. Praise God for what He's done through you. So you're probably wondering, well, what do we have planned in this next decade? Well, I'm glad that you asked. Number one, over the next 3 years, let's multiply our mentoring and tutoring programs by 30%. Can we do that? To additional areas and countries like Eastern European countries, Hungary, Croatia, Montenegro, Albania, Southeast Asian countries like Cambodia, Thailand, and Laos, to go wherever God opens the doors for us to go. Friends, these are the epicenters for the human trafficking trade, and we can help to prevent that. Secondly, in the next 3 years, let's increase by 25% direct aid to children of single parents and of foster families that are in need. This will prevent more children from ending up in the orphanage. You see, if we can give those parents a little help, then that keeps those kids out of the orphanage. In the next 2 years, number 3, in the next 2 years, let's pioneer and implement a bridge program for struggling orphans that are not able to enter a trade school or a college or university. Number 4, let's expand our work right here in the United States through partnerships with organizations like the Hymn Center that's right here in Mansfield to provide essential items like clothing, shoes, hygiene products, and school supplies to local single moms and foster families that have need. And then finally, over this next 10 years, we would like to begin a land acquisition for a ministry training center in the country of Slovenia. And I know that sounds strange, but that could be a haven where Allies, volunteers, and staff can receive coaching, training, and spiritual support. This is a safe country where our foreign in-country area leaders, along with key volunteers and even Americans, can meet and train and be inspired. This journey of saving lives, it continues. Right now, there are children waiting, dreaming, and they're hoping for someone. We are that someone. You and I are called to do what we can, where we can, with what we have. So let's continue this alliance together and get more orphans off of that waiting list and into a plan. Thank you for 10 years. Let's do another 10.
Thank you, Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't operate without committed volunteers. And each year we give a special recognition to someone who has gone above and beyond anything we could have imagined. It's been said that a volunteer is not paid because they are priceless. Well, the recipient of this year's Allies Empowerment Award fits that description. Ladies and gentlemen, here is this year's winner.
You know, there are so many moving parts to Allies and Youth Development, not only overseas, but right here in our own city, right here in Mansfield. It takes dedicated volunteers that are committed to making a difference in the lives of orphans. And several years ago, we created an award that we call the Allies Empowerment Award. And it says, for your commitment to empowering orphans worldwide. And that's what this award is all about. So this year we want to recognize a man that has truly made that difference in the lives of orphans all over the world. Would you help me to welcome Chuck Frankenfield? Chuck, we just want to thank you so much for your help.
Well, I don't know what to say. I'm pretty shocked, I guess. I don't know how to put it, but it's an amazing opportunity to work with other people that are doing a job around the world. An organization that you co-founded and founded, and all the volunteers you have working. It's my favorite day of the week, other than Sunday, is Tuesdays. That's my volunteer day. It's like coming home. There's always a smile, there's always graciousness and faithfulness, and wonderful people all around. And it makes it such a wonderful atmosphere to work in. Honestly, I think Allies has done more for me than I could ever do for Allies. You know, it's a wonderful organization, and I'm proud to be a Gopher in it. I am thrilled to death. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. Please accept this award. Let's give Chuck another round of applause.
Thank you, Chuck, so much. And if you didn't know it, Chuck brings pies from JJ's every day up to the office, all right? So thank you for the pies, Chuck, and thank you for the money I've spent at Soda Weight Loss. All right, appreciate that. State of the art, Chuck, state of the art, buddy. Well, tonight's music is provided by a man who is a gifted singer, songwriter. He's a member of and serves and uses gifts at First Methodist Church here in Mansfield. The Allied staff went to a concert that he had not long ago in the downtown theater, and it was awesome. And we said, you know what? He would be great at the banquet. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Josh Nix and his band.
Thank you, guys. And I will fight for you. I always do until my heart is black and blue. And I will stay with you. We'll make it to the other side. We always do. I'll reach my hand out in the dark and wait for yours to interlock. I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you. 'Cause I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down to my last breath. Even when they say there's nothing left. So don't give up on. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not me. Even when nobody else believes. I'm not giving up that easily. So don't give up on me. And I will I'll hold on to you. No matter what this world will throw, it can't shake me loose. I'll reach my hand out in the dark and wait for yours to interlock. I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you. 'Cause I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down to my last breath. Even when they say there's nothing left. So don't give up on. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not me. Even when nobody else believes. I'm not going down that easily. So don't give up on me. 'Cause I will fight for you. I'll always stay until my heart is black and blue. I'll reach my hand out in the dark and wait for yours to interlock. I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you. 'Cause I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down to my last breath. nothing left. So don't give up on. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not me. Even when nobody else believes, I'm not going down that easily. So don't give up on me. Thanks so much.
Josh, I didn't know we had so much in common. You're a great singer, songwriter. I mean, that was, you sell records too, right? Yeah, and I can play the theme to Jaws on the piano. It's good. Donna, Donna, Donna. If you ever need it, just let me know. I mean, birds of a feather, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you. Thank you, Josh. Very nice, man. That was great. He'll be back later. I don't think you're lip syncing the next one, right? No. Oh, okay. Our next speaker has worked tirelessly for many years, along with Chris. She's really gotten after it these last 10 years, helping to change the lives of orphans around the world. She works 24/7 with our volunteers and workers from other countries, always searching for new ways in which allies can make a difference. She's going to talk about one of the greatest threats to these orphans. She is our Director of International Operations, Dr. Tatiana Baiva.
Hello, I'm Dr. Tatiana Baiva, co-founder and Director of International Operations at Allies. I remember a time when I was a university student in Voronezh, Russia, when a man approached me at a bus stop and told me what a great dancer I could be. As he tried to talk me into joining his show in Europe, I knew exactly what he was doing. The promise of a job abroad is one of many lies human traffickers use to lure in their victims. When I think about that incident, I realize how lucky I was to have friends and family supporting me. I was in university, pursuing my dream of becoming a teacher, so it was easy for me to ignore his offer. Many young people, unfortunately, are not so lucky. Human trafficking is a serious problem all over the world, partly because it is so profitable. Think about it. If you sell someone a drug, they use it once and then it's gone. A human, however, can be sold over and over again. And tragically, according to the United Nations Global Report, at least 1/3 of human trafficking victims are children. A young girl we met in Ukraine is just one of many who have experienced this horrendous reality. Victoria, who has been diagnosed with autism, was born into a family of alcoholics and neglected by her parents. For a time, she was lucky enough to be taken in by her grandmother. But when she was a teenager, her grandmother passed away and she was sent back to her relatives. There, she endured unthinkable abuse. This poor girl was trapped in a filthy house full of drunks. She suffered physical, emotional, and sexual abuse, often being traded to men for alcohol. When Allies volunteers learned of Victoria's dire situation, they were able to get her to a safe environment where people now love and care for her. But our hope is that through education and prevention, we can save as many children as possible before they become victims and endure anything like what Victoria experienced. Traffickers know that orphans are easy targets, that they can be seduced by sweet-sounding lies about their promising future in Europe or wherever else. When an orphan leaves the orphanage, he or she is ready to start a new life, and they can be too quick to accept an offer like the one I heard at the bus stop. Traffickers also know that more likely than not, no one will come looking for an orphan that disappears. This is why our in-country volunteers are so vital. We train our volunteers to mentor orphans, to connect with them and develop friendships with them. From there, the volunteers can teach them life skills, provide tutoring, and guide them in life. The mentors become a barrier between the children and the world of human trafficking. Allies also hold seminars to teach the children self-defense and warn them of the tactics traffickers use. We also hold career days, so the orphans can learn about different jobs, so they know they have options and something to work toward. And when the children leave the orphanage, our volunteers stay in touch with them to be sure that they have what they need and know they are not alone. Thank you for helping to provide the care and support that is necessary to prevent even more children and young women from falling prey to the dark world of human trafficking. We cannot fight this battle without you. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Michael Evans, pastor of the Bethlehem Baptist Church and also mayor here in the city of Mansfield, Texas. We are a blessed community to have Allies as a part of the construct here in the city of Mansfield because of the great work that they do, not only in the city of Mansfield, the state of Texas, but think about it, the world. They are actually taking care of God's most precious jewels, and that is our children, God's children. And we appreciate their heart, their sacrifice. And we know that with continued support, they'll do an even greater work for kingdom building purposes. So we appreciate Allies and all that they continue to do.
Thanks to Mayor Evans. He loves Allies and he's doing great for the city and he's an honest politician. Just let that sit for a minute. If you're a politician tonight, Chris Bergen approved that joke, so. All right, I love this next man. He just recently celebrated his 49th wedding anniversary to his lovely wife, Peggy. He has owned and operated Chick-fil-A restaurants for 38 years and counting. Some of you may have worked for him at some point. He has supported Allies from day one and has been very generous with what God has blessed him with. Please welcome to the stage a man of great faith, Mr. Wayne Hassler.
Russia? Why are you going to Russia? That was what my family asked me in the spring of 2008, and the simple answer was this: I was going to try to help some orphans. What does that mean? Simply this: another Chick-fil-A operator called me and said, "Hey, my brother has a ministry to orphans in Russia, and if we will go there and teach the methods that we use in leadership with Chick-fil-A, it will open opportunities for him." Sound like a good thing to do? So I went to Russia and visited the orphanages. That's an experience for anyone. Russia has more orphans than any other country in the world. Now, you're not going to find that fact in one of their tourist magazines, by the way. But they do. Now, they're very good at housing them, feeding them, make sure they got their food. Oh, by the way, they don't have a problem with overweight children, though, in those orphans, because they are given just enough food to meet the need. They meet their physical needs, educational needs, but not really doing anything social much for them, and spiritual, non-existent. Had the privilege of going back several more years to Novosibirsk, Russia. Yes, that is the capital of Siberia. You are out in the middle of nowhere. But we were doing this because it was a great opportunity. Happened to bump into Chris Bergen at church one day, and he was telling me about his concern about Russian orphans. So I said, "Hey, got a friend who has a ministry there. Maybe you ought to just chit-chat with him." Little did I know that a year later he would be quitting the church and starting a ministry called Allies in Youth. It was a crucial time for the ministry because it was just starting and people didn't know enough about it yet, and it was an opportunity for us to invest in that opportunity. You see, I truly believe that God has asked us to be good stewards of that which has been entrusted to us. And Chris has done a marvelous job. I mean, if you look over the last 10 years, how the ministry has grown, it is incredible. But by the same token, it's also been the needs have been growing. You know, it's very interesting. God can do anything. So I guess God tomorrow could put $1 million in his checking account. But thank God he doesn't do that. Instead, he allows us to use our hands to be good stewards. So, just want to tell you this one simple thing. I am truly thrilled to have the opportunity to be associated with Allies.
That wasn't booze you heard, Wayne. That was all the cows mooing, man. They love you. The chickens, not so much. We're going to have to work on building bridges there. I'm just kidding, buddy. That's awesome. Thanks, Wayne. Thank you so much. Because of your generosity, we are able to help other organizations that are helping orphans. One of those organizations is the Lost Children of Peru. We're about to show you a video where Allies was able to donate money to help complete a very worthwhile project in Peru to help the orphans. I'll let the video speak for itself.
Mi nombre es Laura, tengo 15 años. Tengo 9 hermanos. Desde los 7 años vivo sola.
¿Sí?
Sí.
¿Y qué tal vivir sola desde los 7 años?
Triste. Una vez me entraron a robar. Mi mamá vivía más antes aquí con mi papá. Y se separaron, peleaban. Y mi papá se fue de viaje, no sé a dónde. 8 años, volvió y me compró esta casa.
¿Tu mamá, tu papá?
Mi papá.
Tu papá, bueno.
Y me dejó esta casa a mí. Y se fue y mi mamá se consiguió una pareja en acá. A los pocos años le pegaba. Y una vez me acuerdo cuando mi mamá estaba durmiendo, mi padrastro vino y le pegó con un cuchillo. Y ahí están, en la cama. Todo lo que está roto es con el cuchillo que le pegó. Y yo lloraba mucho porque no me gustaba que le peguen a mi mamá. Y hasta que cuando cumplí 8 años, mi mamá se fue con mi padrastro a vivir para otro lado. Y yo me quedé sola. Le extrañaba, a veces venía a visitarme, a veces no, pero igual le extrañaba. A mis hermanitas chiquitas también les extrañaba.
¿Dónde trabajabas?
En el mercado.
¿A qué edad?
A los 11 años, desde ahí comencé a trabajar. Vendía ropa, sí, y me daban para mi comida.
¿Solo almorzabas durante el día?
Sí.
¿No desayunabas ni cenabas?
No, me daba hambre, pero después me acostumbré. Y cuando iba al colegio me desmayaba. Dijeron que tenía anemia. Un día vinieron a pintar mi casa y Olenka dijo, ¿puedo entrar? Yo no sabía que me iban a decir para que me dan una casa. Yo le dije ya, y me dijeron, ¿puedo tomar foto? Y yo le dije que no porque tenía vergüenza. El pastor me dijo, te tenemos una sorpresa. Y yo le dije, ¿qué sorpresa? Y me dijo que me iban a dar una casa con el hermano Lar. Y yo me emocioné.
¿Qué esperas de la nueva casa? ¿Cómo crees que será la diferencia?
Que ya no tendrá huecos, que tendrá llave ahora y ya no se puede abrir sola.
Sacaste a la familia que estaba justamente donando para la casa. ¿Qué les dirías?
Muchas gracias. Que estoy muy agradecida. Que Dios le bendiga mucho. Que si le falte algo, que Dios nunca le haga faltar comida. Porque sé cómo se sufre. Y es feo. Le diré si me pueden dar un abrazo. Nada más.
The sad part about this video is, to them, it's just normal. And it breaks my heart that they think that this is normal. So our job at the Lost Children of Peru is to teach these kids that there is a greater power that loves them. And this is not the way their life should be. And so thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping build these homes and change these lives.
You lived among the least of of these, the weary and the weak. And it would be a tragedy for me to turn away when all my needs you have supplied. When I was dead, you gave me life. So how could I not give it away so freely? And I follow you into the homes of the broken. Follow you into the world. Meet the needs for the poor and the needy, God. Follow you into the world. Use my hands and use my feet to make your kingdom come. Through the corners of the earth until your work is done. 'Cause faith without works is dead, and on the cross your blood was shed. So how could we not give it away so freely? And I follow you into the homes of the broken. Follow you into the world. Meet the needs for the poor and the needy, God. I'll follow you into the world. And I give all myself. And I give all myself. And I give all myself to you. And I give all myself. And I give all myself. And I give all myself to you. And I give all myself. And I give all myself. And I give all myself to you. And I follow you into the homes of the broken. I follow you into the world. Oh, meet the needs for the poor and the needy, God. I follow you into the world. And I'll follow you into the homes of the broken. I follow you into the world. Whoa, meet the needs for the poor and the needy, God. I follow you into the world.
Hello everybody, I'm Bill Wabern, your Tarrant County Sheriff, and what an honor and pleasure it is to be here with you celebrating Ally's 10th anniversary. We have no idea of the lives that they have reached out and touched over the last 10 years, but there have been many children saved out of that evil called human trafficking. Many a child has had other options besides what they were looking at for a death sentence. Allies has been there. And you know, when all the big people get up in the room, they ought to be taking care of the kids first. And Allies has been on the point of the spear of that. And I wish them another 10 or 20 years. I so appreciate Chris and his incredible vision of what he's doing and impacting the world and touching children's lives, presenting the gospel where they can, and keeping them out of human trafficking. God bless you all, and let's celebrate tonight, and then let's get back to work. There's plenty of work in this arena. Thank you.
I would like to introduce to you tonight someone who once sat in the same chair that you're at and was at this banquet for the first time and heard about Allies. Her heart was touched, and she's been a great asset as well as a supporter of Allies ever since. Please welcome to the stage Miss Sally Pennon.
So tonight you've heard many stories of people around the world who have been helped by the Allies organization. But I'm here to tell you a different story tonight. I'm here to tell you my story as to why I give to Allies. So my name is Sally Pennon, and my husband Jonathan and I are financial supporters of Allies. And our story began with Allies at a night just like this about 4 years ago. We were at a banquet, and we'd been invited by a friend, and we said yes to attending mainly because there was free food and free childcare. But then we heard the stories, many like those that you have heard tonight, and our hearts were softened to give. And I believe that first banquet, we wrote a check, and we thought, oh, that's probably going to be it for the year. But then my heart was softened towards nonprofits in general, and I realized that what they really needed was a monthly gift. A monthly gift is like a stable paycheck that allows an organization to feel secure and make plans for the future. So I started to give monthly. And you know when you give monthly, they're gonna call you. And Karen Yarbrough called me many times, and I let it go to voicemail many times. But one time I picked up the phone and I talked to Karen. And after talking with Karen, I felt like I had a new friend. And if you've talked with Karen, you know just how wonderful she is. So my relationship with Karen led me to getting to spend time with Chris, and that relationship led me to visiting the Allies office, where I've talked with the staff, and I've really learned a lot about what they've done. So now I've really seen this organization from the inside, and I've realized three big things. The first is that my money is going to something so good. Like, so good that I know God's proud of me. We've heard the scripture so many times tonight. James 1:27, pure religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this, to look after orphans and widows in their time of distress. Well, I don't know about you, but there's very little that I can say my money goes to that's pure and faultless. But I can say that my checks to Allies really make God proud. So the second thing that I've really realized about the Allies organization is that I can feel secure with where my money is going. If you've met Chris Bergen, you know that Chris is one of the most honorable men you will ever meet. And he has assembled a staff and a board of truly great people who are really just trying to get money in the hands of those that need it most. So the third and final thing that I've realized is that the Allies organization has blessed my life just as much as I've blessed them. So I may be the one giving a financial check, but they have given me friendship, community, and the gift of being a part of something that's bigger than myself. So I made the commitment when I started giving to Allies to pray for the orphans and for this organization, and that's led me to a deeper and more personal relationship with God as well. So I know you're thinking, what does this mean for me tonight? This is the point where we know that Allies is doing so much good around the world. But tonight, we need to equip them with the financial means to do even more. So you've heard Travis say that there are 2,000 orphans on the waiting list. Tonight, our goal is to clear that waiting list. You've also heard Travis say that the financial goal tonight is $300,000. Thanks to several upfront matches of $150,000, we only need to raise $150,000 tonight. That means it's up to this room to raise this money. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh goodness, this is the give, right? Yes, this is the give. And you're thinking, oh, this is really meant for the guy next to me that came in driving the Escalade. And it is for that guy. I want you to turn to that guy and say, it's time for you to give. But my hope is we realize that we are best off when we all give together. So please join with me in taking out the commitment sheet that you will see on your table. I'll give you a second to find that. And we're gonna look at this together, and we're gonna see how we can raise this $150,000 together. So you'll see at the top, there's several different boxes where you can check your donation. There's some boxes there for $50,000, $25,000. I know there's some of you in the room that can check that box, and we want you to check that box. Please check that box. But I want to point out one specific box to you guys, and that's the $5,000 box. And I know some of you may be thinking, well, that's a little bit more than I was planning to give. But you'll see the next column, it says, I'll make this gift by tonight, by the end of the year, over the next 2 or 3 years. So $5,000 over a year is a little over $500 a month. Over 2 years is a little over $200 a month. And over 3 years is $138 a month. That might be a great commitment that you could make to this organization. One thing that I thought was so interesting is if every family in this room committed $5,000 over the next several years, we would raise over $500,000 tonight. That's how important those monthly gifts in that $5,000 box can be. But either way, you're gonna make this gift, like I said, maybe tonight or over time, and check those boxes. You'll also see in here where it says you can give online. You can also, next you'll see where you can pay via credit card, cash, or check, and put your check number there. We will take credit card as well, so you can fill out that information. So I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes to fill out your information on this sheet. And I know some of you may be filling it out with your spouse, and you may need to talk to them, and that's okay. While you're doing that, I'm actually going to talk to my spouse, who's down here, and tell him what to do. So Jonathan, you're going to check the other box, the one we talked about. And Jonathan, you have some big hitters at your table, like Chip Roop from the Family Foundation and Mickey White with his Family Foundation. Put an extra 0 on ours, so it looks real good. You can erase it later. But check that other box. And then, Jonathan, what you're going to do, and for all of you guys as you're filling out your forms, you can put your check with the paper clip on top, and then you're going to fold it up. And we're going to have members of the Allies staff walking around with baskets, and they are going to pick up these sheets. So go ahead and take a few moments and fill these out. So keep filling them out, and there's going to be a video that's going to play after me where you'll still have time to fill it out. But I want to leave you with this thought. God asks us to give in the Bible because he knows that giving is an incredibly powerful tool that can change lives and communities. But giving is even more effective when we pool all of our resources and we give together. So I'm excited tonight to be pooling my resource with yours and to take Allies into the next decade. Thank you so much for being here and for loving Allies like I do. I pray that you will give generously and freely, and that you will allow Allies to bless your life just like they've blessed mine.
Куда мы едем?
It doesn't matter what the world says. I've seen what you can do. I I know it's more than just coincidence. It's amazing how you move. It's not always parting oceans. Sometimes it's the little moments when you show how close you are. Some would say it's only chance. I'm not gonna second guess. I've seen the hand of God. 'Cause I believe in miracles. You can do the impossible. 'Cause every single heartbeat means there's a God who's in control. And I know that I'm not alone, even when it's difficult. Your love is all the proof I need. You're the God who won't let go. So I believe in miracles. I believe in miracles. I wasn't there to see you give life to a dead man in a grave, but I have been the one revived within your perfect grace. And it's not always signs and wonders. I know when your children suffer, you're the light that leads us on. Some would say it's only chance. I'm not gonna second guess. I've seen the hand of God. 'Cause I believe in miracles. You can do the impossible.
Господи, прибежище мое и защита моя, Господь, Бог, на которого я уповаю, Он избавит тебя от сети ловца, от гибельной язви, племенем своим, осенит тебя и под крыльями, будет безопасен, щит и ограждение, истинно не будет. Не убоишься ужасов ночи, стрелы, летящие днем, яд, заходящие в мраке, зараза, опустошающие дом. Один погиб 10 000 и 10 000, один погиб.
All right, thank you so much for giving. They're collecting those. They're going to tally those, and before you leave here, we're going to give you the number that we have so far, all right? So, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the live auction. Let me say that again. Now it's time for the live auction. Come on now. All right. I would like to introduce you tonight to a man with a heart of gold, a man with high moral character and intelligence, and probably the best auctioneer in the Metroplex. I would like you to introduce you to that man, but he couldn't make it tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're stuck with Mr. Keith Presley.
You know what, Travis? I have probably never had a more honest introduction than that one tonight. Last year during COVID, I had a little talk with Travis during our virtual auction and talked about how much time we had spent together. And it was just a rumor that coincided with Governor Abbott shutting the bars down. But I do want to point out, I have not got to see as much of you this year since the bars have been open, Travis.
I don't know.
That's just a coincidence, isn't it?
It's a coincidence, yeah.
Oh, okay. We're going to buy into that. And I'm still having trouble with the big afro picture in my head. I'm struggling with that. Folks, thank each and every one of y'all for being here tonight. Thank you for what you've done to keep Allies going. Continue to fill out your sheets. And if there's not an amount on that sheet, like if you wanted to write a check for $1 million and it's not on that sheet, feel free to write the check for the $1 million and attach it. We'll figure it out when we get it back to the office. Travis, with that being said, let's have some fun, sell some live auction items.
Let's do it.
What do you think?
Let's do it. We're ready. What do you want to do first, Mr. Keith?
Why don't you go ahead and introduce them, and then I'll do the auctioneering part. How's that sound?
All right. That sounds good to me.
Okay, let's start with Tom.
Tom, all right. Here we go. Mr. Tom Petty guitar. What we have is an autographed Tom Petty guitar, beautifully arranged. It's an orange Squire by Fender Guitar, signed by Tom Petty, Michael Campbell, Ron Blair, Benmont Tench. Think he got picked on in school? I think he did. Steve Ferrone and Scott Thurston. This is a rare guitar because Tom Petty died in 2017. So his signature will no longer be available, Keith.
And folks, before I sell the first item, I'd be remiss not to mention three folks helping me make sure I don't miss anybody. On my far left, I believe we had the state champion from 2019, Miss Monica Higdon. Down center, all hat, no cow from Swing City Auction, my buddy, Mr. Philip Pearsall. And last but definitely not least, the love of my life, Miss Jackie Presley on the right side. All right, let's sell a guitar. $1,000 bill. $1,000 down 15. 15. Give it $1,500 now 2. Give it $2,000. $2,000. Give it $2,000. Give it $2,000. Give it $2,000. Give it all I'm asking 25. 25. Give it $5. Give it $2,500. Give it $2,000. 2,500. 25. Give it $5. Give it $2,000. 2,500. 25. Give it $5. Give it $2,000. 25. 25. Y'all do realize now 7 and a half. Give it $5. 750. Give it $7.5. Give it $8. Give it $25. 750. 7 and a half. 7 and a half. Give it $5. Give it $7 and a half. 7 and a half. 7 and a half. Give it $2,500. 7 and a half. Give it Travis. Is there anything you can add to this to tell me?
You know, just a fun fact, Keith. Did you know Tom Petty didn't like fly fishing? He said the waiting is the hardest part. How about Yes, yes. Keith, I can add, in 2002, Petty and the Heartbreakers were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's a Hall of Fame guitar.
All right, now I got 2,500, 27 and a half. Never fought Google. 27 and a half. Give it $2,500, 27. Give it $8. Give it $7 and a half. 7 and a half. Give it $5. Give it Jack. Give it 25. 7 and a half. 7 and a half. Give it $5. 7 bit. Give it 7 and a half. I'm about to sell it. First item's always cheapest. 27 and a half. 7 and a half. Sold it, Philip, your way, 2,500 by 333. Even I can't get that one backwards. 333. What's next, Travis?
All right, Keith, we got a Cowboys Legends helmet. It's a Dallas Cowboy helmet autographed by Cowboys Legends. This unique and exclusive helmet displays the signatures of 12 of the Cowboys' finest. Romo, Aikman, Staubach, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Witten, Bryant, Murray, Charles Haley, Tony Dorsett, Jerry Jones, and Bob Lilly. What do you think about that, Keith? Woo!
Oh, that was it, huh?
That's it.
$1,000 bill. Now 15, 1,500, $15. Give it $15. Now 2. Give it $2,000. 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 $2,000. Now 5. Give it $2,500. Give it $25. Give it $5. Give it $2,000. $2,500. $25. Give it $5. Give it $5. Give it $2,500. $25. Give it $2,500. Give it $5. I got $2,000. 25. I wonder how many Super Bowl rings are represented with this.
Well, it's easy to count. Oh.
Now 3.
All right. It's easy to count, Keith, because you don't have to count the last 25 years. So, you know, Keith, what does a Chick-fil-A manager and the Dallas Cowboys have in common? They both take Sundays off. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just... They do, right? I know. That's true. 22 Super Bowl rings.
Represented in this helmet.
Yes, sir.
And I've got $2,500, $3,000. $3,000. Give it $3,000. Give it $3,000. Give it $3,000. $3,000. Give it $3,000. Give it $25,300. Give it $3,000. Give it $3,000. Now 5. 35. 35. Give it Philip, your man's out. 3,500. Give it $5. Give it $3,000. 35. 35. Give it $5. Give it $3,500. Give it $35. 35, give it $5, give it $35. Now 4. 4, 4,000, 4,000, give it a baby to be 4, give it a baby to be $4,000, give it a baby to be 4,500. Like a man that's got hope. 4,500, 45, give it a baby to be 5 again, give it a baby to be 5, give it a baby to be $4,000, 45, 45, give it a baby to be, I'll do 42 if it'll help it all, give it a baby to be 2, give it a baby to be 2, give it a baby to be 4,200, 42, give it a baby to be all in, give it a baby to be 2, give it a baby to be $4,200. 42 to give it a baby to be 4,000, 42. Sold $4,000 today. What's that number? 357. $4,000, 357. What's next, old buddy?
All right, Keith, we have a U2 guitar that is autographed as well. It's a Sunburst Squire by Fender Guitar, signed by Bono, The Edge, Adam Clayton, and Larry Mullen Jr. U2 began as an Irish rock band from Dublin in 1976. Their fifth album, The Joshua Tree, made them international superstars and was their greatest success. They have sold 150 million records worldwide and have 22 Grammy Awards. Quite the band, Keith. And Keith, this is what I know. I had a premonition. This is Sunday, Bloody Sunday. And it's going to be a beautiful day when somebody in the name of love looks at that guitar in some mysterious way and says to themselves, I finally found what I'm looking for. That's my desire. All right. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Y'all don't encourage him. All right, give it a baby to be. Let's sell you two. To give it a baby to be. Look here, to give it a baby to be $1,000 bill, 1,500. 15. Give it a baby to be 1,500. Give it a baby to be 15.2. To give it a baby to be $2,000. Give it a baby to be 2,000. 2,000. Give it a baby to be 2. To give it a baby to be $2,000. Give it a baby to be 1,500. 2,000. 2,000. Give it a baby to be $2,000. Give it a baby to be 2. To give it a baby to be 1,500. 2,000. 2,000. Give it a baby to be 2. To give it a baby to be 2. To give it a baby to be $2,000. 2,000. 2,000. Now 5. To give it a baby to be 2,500. Give it a baby to be 2,500. 25, to give it a baby to be 5, to give it a baby to be 5, to give it a baby to be 2,200 if it'll help it all. 22, 22, to give it a baby to be 2,000, 22, to give it a baby to be 2, to give it a baby to be 2,200, 22, to give it a baby to be about to sell it, to give it a baby to be $2,000, 2,200, 22, to give it a baby to be fall in, to give it a baby to be 2, to give it a baby to be 2, to give it a baby to be 2,200, give it a baby to be 22. Sold it your way, Philip. 333, $2,000 buyer, 333.
Right. All right, Mr. Keith, next up we got Kobe Bryant autographed picture. 16 by 20 framed and signed with a silver paint marker, picture of Kobe Bryant at his finest. Kobe was shooting guard, spending his entire 20-year career with the Los Angeles Lakers. He won 5 NBA championships, among many other awards, and ranks 4th in league all-time regular season and post-season scoring. He was voted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame after his death in 2020. He is the Black Mamba, Keith.
Is it true that you tried to get him to put a helicopter trip in with this? Too soon? Too soon?
Oh, too soon.
Sorry. All right, give it a baby to be. I better get to selling and shut up. $1,000 bill. $1,000. Give it a baby to be $1,000 bill. Give it a baby to be $1,000. Give it a baby to be $1,000. $1,000. $1,000. Give it a baby to be $1,000. Give it a baby to be $1,000. Give it a baby to be $1,000 bill. Give it a baby to be $1,000. I'll start low. 500, 600, 600. Give it out 700. Give it a baby to be 99. Give it a baby to be 900, 900, 900. Give it a baby to be 89. Give it a baby to be $900. Give it a baby to be 9. Give it a baby to be 800, 900, 900. Give it a baby to be 89. Give it a baby to be 9. To give it a baby to be $900. All I'm asking, 809. $900. Give it a baby to be 89. To give it a baby to be 9. Now $10,000. $1,000. Give it a baby to be $1,000 bill. To give it a baby to be $1,000. To give it a baby to be $1,000. $1,000. To give it a baby to be $910. To give it a baby to be $1,000 bill. $1,000. To give it a baby to be, if anybody else for go. To give it a baby to be $910. To give it a baby to be $1,000. To give it a baby to be $1,000 bill. To give it a baby to be $1,000. To give it a baby to be $1,000. To give it a baby to be $1,000. Sold 900 by 308. 308. Bargain of the night. We got anything left?
One left, Mr. Keith. Park Cities, Utah Presidential Suite. 1 week, optional date, September 25th through November 20th, or April 16th through November 19th, 2022. Choose 1 week during those dates, either one of those dates, Keith. The spectacular Westgate Canyons Resort is nestled among the mountains of Park Cities, Utah. It boasts 4 suites with private bathrooms, 2 kitchenettes, 1 large kitchen, a washer and dryer, and 3 fireplaces. The balcony overlooks the valley where every morning you can drink your coffee and watch the hot air balloons rise. The balcony also has your own private hot tub to relax in after a long day of mountain bike riding or hiking in the mountains. Other things include a heated indoor pool, an outdoor pool, restaurants, fitness center. Nearby activities include fly fishing. The wading, is that, you get it? Yeah, that's right. Alpine Slides, a U.S. ski team training facility where you can watch them train and even ride the luge if you dare, Keith. A lot of golf. It sounds like a good trip.
Except for yours and my golf, it would be a good trip.
Yeah, it'd be real good.
Do you happen to know how many people this house? I see there are 4 suites. Do we have the information to know how many people? You want me to read? Honey, I told you I could count. I did not say I could read.
You ask it a lot. 8 to 14, isn't it? 8 to 14.
8 to 14. I'll go with that.
Right.
All right, any questions before we go? Give it a $1,000 bill. Give it a $1,000. Let's go to Utah now. 1,500. 15. Give it a $1,000. 15. 2. Give it a $2,000. Give it a $2. 25. 3. 3,000. Give it a $3. Give it a $3,000. Give it a $3. Give it a $3,000. 3,000. 3,000. Give it a $3,000. 3,500. Give it a $5. Give it a $4,000. 4,000. 4,000. Give it a $4,500. Give it a $45. Give it a $5. Give it a $4,500. 45. Give it a $5. Give it. It's only money, man. 4,500. 45 to give it to baby to be 40. Don't ask permission, just buy it and ask forgiveness when we're done. 4,500. 45 to give it to baby to be 5, to give it to baby to be 4,500. Now 5,000. 5,000 to give it to baby to be 5. 5,500 to give it to baby to be 55, to give it to baby to be 5, to give it to baby to be 5,500. 55 to give it to baby to be 5, to give it to baby to be $6,000. 6,000 to give it to baby to be 6. Now 5. 6,500. 65. She's saying the same thing about you, ma'am. 6,500. 55 to give it to baby to be 5, to give it to baby to be 5, to give it to baby to be 65. 65 to give it a baby. Well, you know he'll go. 6,500. 55 to give it a baby to be 5 to give it a baby. Here's the trick. Now 7,000. Don't have to use trick yet. 7,000. 7,000 to give it a baby to be 7,500. Give it a baby to be 7,500. Give it a baby to be 5 to give it a baby to be 75. Now I'm gonna have to tell you a trick. You get 3 couples to go with you. Charge them $2,000 each. You're only paying $1,500 for your trip. 7,500. 75 to give it a baby to be 5 to give it a baby to be $7,000. 75. 7,500 give it a baby to be 7,500 give it a baby to be 5 to give it a baby to be 75. 8,000. $8,000.
Keith?
Yes, sir.
Do we have something to go with that trip?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh yeah.
I got $8,000, and Travis, I just happen to have in my pocket a $100 Visa gift card, help pay for a little airfare or a meal or whatever that goes right along with the trip. So I've got $8,000, 8,500. 85 to give it a baby to be 5, to give it a baby to be 5, to give it a baby to be 8,500, give it a baby to be 8,500. 85 to give it a baby to be 5, to give it a baby to be $8,500. 85 to give it a baby to be 85 to give it a baby to be 5 to give it a baby to be $8,000. 8,500. You're out. I got 8,000 back here. 85. 8,500. 82. Help it all. Before I go. 8,200. 82 to give it a baby to be 2 to give it a baby to be $8,000. 82 to give it a baby to be 8,200. I miss anybody. 82. Sold $8,000. Philip by 331. 331. Ladies and gentlemen, Jackie Presley, Philip Pearsall, Monica Higdon, and comedic relief by Travis Modrell.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Keith Presley, give him a hand. Every year, 10 years running, right here. All right, we're adding it up. We almost have a total, and we'll get you out of here. Here we go. All right. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for coming. Thank you for bidding in the silent auction. Thank you for bidding on the online auction. Thank you for giving. Thank you for praying. Thank you for volunteering. Thank you for sponsoring. A while back, we watched a video and we caught a quote off there, and boy, it was powerful for all of us. It says, "You are far away from the devil when you stand in generosity." Isn't that true? We thank you so much for your generosity for 10 years, and we want to be up here another 10 years and share all that God is doing. Ladies and gentlemen, with money still going to come in, what's brought in tonight online, and we usually get money 6 weeks, right, Chris? 6 weeks from now, we're still going to be getting money. But I want you to know tonight, we have raised $283,000, $160. Everybody stand up, stand up. Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Thank you so much. And I want to close this in prayer because this is about what God has done. And He's used every one of you to do it. Let's bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we give all praise and glory to your name. You told us to take care of the orphans, Father, and you laid it on Chris's heart and Tatiana's heart 10 years ago. And Chris asked, would anybody come? And you've touched hearts for 10 years to give. Some who didn't have much to give and they gave all they could. And some who gave a lot and sacrificed so much so orphans' lives could be changed. We don't ever want to take for granted how you work through each and every individual in this room and those in many states watching tonight, Father. Thank you so much, Father. Thank you for the smiles in the future that these orphans will have because all these people in this room and all of our past and present and future donors, generosity, what we're going to do in the future, Father, with all the money that's given. Let us be great stewards, as Wayne has said tonight, Father. You give so we cannot keep it, but that we can give it to others so their time on this earth will be blessed, Father. I ask that you continue to watch over everybody's families tonight, Father. I pray for those that are sick, Father, in the hospitals, Father, that you reach down and touch them, Father, and heal them, Father. We've lost so much this year, Father. And you be with everybody this morning. Be with our country, Father. Let us turn to you in each and everything we do and dedicate our lives to you. We thank you for what was raised and what will be continued to raise. That's all glory to your name. We love you. You are God Most High. In Jesus' name, amen. Have a great night. Thank you so much.